Welcome to the He's Got Issues Independent Comics Edition number 152.3. I'm John Cooney here to preview new independent comics being released December 17th, 2014, beginning alphabetically with Boom Studios and Adventure Time Banana Guard Academy number 6. In this sixth and final issue, the terrible, evil, threatening Candy Kingdom will finally be released into OO, knocking the Banana Guards out of commission. It's up to our favorite group of ragtag cadets to save the day and hopefully get the opportunity to graduate. Next, we have Clive Barker's Hellraiser Bestiary number 5 of 6. As we venture deeper into the Bestiary, Michael Morrissey and Paolo Villanelli take the puzzle box through a hospital and don't look, while in the penultimate chapter of The Hunted, Pinhead finds some unexpected help in his fight against the poachers. We've also got Jim Henson's The Storyteller Witches number 4 of 4. In this final standalone issue, Harvey Award-nominated artist Jeff Stokely adapts an unproduced teleplay by writers of the Storyteller television show, Susan Kodasek, Ann Mountfield, and Academy Award winner Anthony Minghella, that weaves together the legend of the Russian witch Baba Yaga. Next, we have Lumberjanes number 9. In order to earn the coveted Gimme Some More badge, the Lumberjanes set out on a backpacking trip in the deep, dark woods. But the woods aren't so scary anymore now that the Lumberjanes have kicked, punched, and befriended all the fearsome magical monsters out there. So they set out to find one more thing that can still scare them all: campfire stories. We've also got Peanuts number 24. With the science fair in full swing, Lucy knows exactly how to win the first place ribbon. While all the other kids will have rocks, bugs, and batteries, Lucy will find a way to scientifically prove whether Linus's blanket can truly bring him security. Next, we have Rocket Salvage number 1 of 6. Primo Rocket used to be the fastest speed racer in the galaxy, but after a crash that sealed the fate of his space station home, Rio Rojo, Primo has resigned himself to life as a lowly spaceship salvage yard owner. However, his two kids, Harvest clone Betty and Betty's genius girl clone Zeta, can't seem to keep him out of trouble. When the dysfunctional family suddenly becomes the target of an intergalactic manhunt, the family has to come together to save their home. We've also got Sons of Anarchy number 16. The Sons of Anarchy have been the only family Juice Ortiz has known for as long as he cares to remember. But when someone from his past comes back into charming, Juice must find a way to protect the life he built so hard for himself at all costs. And we've got Steven Universe number 5. It's a brand new off-the-wall adventure arc in Beach City. When a rare meteor shower promises a night of shooting stars, Steven advocates to the Crystal Gems for the best sleepover ever. But when a monster attacks Beach City before the pizza can arrive, can the gems manage to save the city in order to make even one wish on a falling star? From Dark Horse Comics, we've got B.P.R.D. Hell on Earth number 126. A monster terrorizes a mountain while Howard finds a connection to his past as a prehistoric warlord. The Russians struggle with their own monsters, and in New York, the Zinco Corporation operates under the mysterious direction of the Black Flame. Next, we have Criminal Macabre, the Third Child, number 4 of 4. The war rages on as humans tear each other to shreds. Cal is done with it. He's ready for the war to end, but as his dark side gets stronger, whose side will he take? From the writer of Breath of Bones and 30 Days of Night, who is the third child? We've also got Dark Horse Presents number 5. Why is Odin wielding Thor's hammer? Find out in Joe Casey and Jim Rugg's thunderous Odin's Mighty Return. Ed Brisson's gritty crime comic murder book comes to DHP, featuring a tale illustrated by Moon Knight artist Declan Shalvey, plus new chapters in Alex DeCampi and Jerry Ordway's Semi-Auto Magic, Jimmy Palmiotti, Justin Gray, and Andy Kuhn's Wrestling with Demons, Tyler Jenkins' The Chaining, and Peter Tomasi and Keith Champagne's The Mighty, written by Champagne with art by Leonard Kirk. Next, we have Eerie Comics number 6. Cousin Eerie is dashing through the snow to wish you tidings for a horrific holiday season. On offer this month are sickening stories of festive phantoms and pernicious pastries from horror comics' most contemptible creators. Don't go under the mistletoe. And we've got Predator Fire and Stone number 3 of 4. Back among the crewmates he betrayed in Prometheus, Galgo must watch over both shoulders as former allies want him to pay, and the Predator that holds him captive wants something far more terrible. From Dynamite Entertainment, we've got Bob's Burgers number 5, the final issue in the first ever Bob's Burgers miniseries featuring 5 original stories of the Belcher family. In a post-apocalyptic wasteland, Tina finds a familiar face, Bob cultivates a list of literary classics, Louise tries to shed light on a Boys for Now mystery while denying having any interest in them whatsoever, Linda imagines an alternate universe, and Gene presents a musical set at Robot College. Next, we have The Damnation of Charlie Wormwood, number 3 of 5. Charlie seems to have his home life under control, however he gets an offer that he can't refuse. Or can he? But did the teacher learn enough from the student to complete the assignment? If he fails this assignment, the consequences could be fatal. We've also got Django Zorro number 2 of 6. In anticipation of the Transcontinental Railroad, Archduke of Arizona Gorkto Langdon has enslaved the natives for labor on a statewide railway, while he waits for the United States to honor his claim as sovereign of the territory per the Treaty of Hidalgo, Guadalupe. Learning of the Archduke's injustice to the people of Arizona, Don Diego de la Vega enlists the bounty hunter Django as his personal bodyguard as he sets off to undo Langdon's schemes. All too familiar with the cruelties of slavery, Django is eager to assist Diego on his mission, though it is more political than the gunslinger prefers. Even so, there seems to be more to the old fox than his fussy millionaire persona lets on. Next, we have Flash Gordon Holiday Special 2014 one-shot. Deck the Galactic Halls. You're getting 3 Titanic tales for the price of 1 by the triple team of Elliot Kalin, Dan McCoy, and Stuart Wellington from The Daily Show and the hit podcast The Flophouse. Flash and Zarkov head back to Arboria to teach their alien friends about Christmas, only to find that Arboria already knows what Christmas is. Then a tale on Earth featuring an abandoned beastman helped by a Jewish family during Hanukkah, and finally Dale Arden rings in the new year on the violent and horrifically frigid Phrygia. We've also got George R.R. Martin's A Game of Thrones number 23. In Winterfell, Bran, troubled by strange dreams of a three-eyed crow, learns from Maester Luwin of the Children of the Forest, the original inhabitants of Westeros. But his lesson is interrupted by another bird, a raven, bearing grim news from King's Landing. Lord Eddard is dead. Meanwhile, it is to that once proud city, now stained with blood and madness, that Tyrion Lannister is dispatched by his father, Tywin, to rule as regent of the young King Joffrey. And across the sea, Daenerys learns that her son is dead and her husband worse than dead. Next, we have Justice Inc. number 5 of 6. When Doc Savage's fortress is blown to bits by the combined brain trust of the Voodoo Master and our all-powerful mystery villain, the battleground for the soul of mankind moves to New York City, where the agents of the Shadow and Doc's team are nowhere to be found. As Doc battles a dark menace over the skies of New York, the Shadow confronts the Voodoo Master in Coney Island's House of Horrors. Stalemated, it's up to Richard Henry Benson, the world's newest Avenger, to learn how to manipulate his frozen zombie-like face and mold it into masterful disguises to stop them from controlling time itself, to solve the mystery of his wife and daughter's disappearance, and to do what he is now cruelly fated to do, avenge. We've also got Lone Ranger Vindicated number 2 of 4. In the second chapter of Vindicated, the Lone Ranger and Tonto cross paths with criminals and cutthroats as they rescue damsel in distress Fiona Doyle, who instantly captures the Ranger's heart. Meanwhile, Tonto encounters some men who will stop at nothing to get their revenge. Next, we have Magnus Robot Fighter number 9, a perfect jumping on point as Magnus Robot Fighter begins an all-new story arc. Having finally reunited with his robotic father, Magnus has new purpose in life, but that doesn't really matter if Dad starts him off on a suicide mission. It's Magnus, agent of 1A. And we've got Vampirella Fairy Tales number 3 of 5. Vampirella's 45th anniversary celebration continues with this salute to her origins as the ghostess with the mostest, featuring fearsome fables by some of the best creators in comics. Vampirella is still trapped inside the nightmarish netherworld of the fairy tale book, tormented by the disembodied voice of the mysterious storyteller, and her only hope of escaping is if she can survive the ghoulish mix-ups of familiar nursery tales until she reaches the last story. But first she must weather Stephen R. Bissett and Dennis St. John's macabre reimagining of the classic Betty Boop version of Snow White, then help track down a little missing mermaid in Gail Simone's Thirsty, Thirsty Town, with storyteller segments by regular Vampirella scripter Nancy A. Collins. From IDW Publishing, we've got Bigger Bang number 2 of 4. Is the most powerful being alive ready for friendship? Cosmos adventures in the multiverse continue as extermination bots are battled, the monstrous King Thula is bossy, trust is questioned, and a new feeling Cosmos has never felt comes into focus. Spoiler alert, it's love, in this breakneck second issue from Kirkbride and Godzillas. Next, we have Borderlands number 5. The Vault Hunters have narrowly escaped Nine Toes and find themselves lost and unable to find the fabled vault. Enter Patricia Tanis, a brilliant scientist who's struggling to cling to reality and who is the hunters' only hope of reaching the vault. But can they trust her? Return to Pandora in this all-new action-packed arc. We've also got G.I. Joe number 4. On the run, the G.I. Joe team is in pursuit of their target, a revolutionary warlord, but he has a snake in his midst as the Cobra peacekeeping force circles. Scarlet's decisions force other military agencies into action. Next, we have G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, number 209. The secrets and true dangers of the Revance Corporation become clear to G.I. Joe, but will this new threat keep G.I. Joe from uncovering Cobra's newest plot? The mysteries pile up as time runs out in G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, number 209. We've also got Godzilla Cataclysm, number 505. As one of Godzilla's most devastating foes emerges, Hiroshi must come to terms with his role in the cataclysm. Will his actions be enough to rectify the mistakes of his past? Next, we have Godzilla Rulers of Earth, number 19. Battle comes to Earth like never before. Humanity struggles to withstand the outer space onslaught. What will be the fate of the inhabitants of Monster Island once it comes under attack? We've also got My Little Pony Equestria Girls Holiday Special. It's holiday time at Canterlot High. Sunset Shimmer is still getting used to life on campus and her new friends. When mean rumors start to circulate, all signs point to Sunset as the source. Will she be able to find the true meaning of the holidays and clear her name? Next, we have Ragnarok number 3, The Quick and the Deadly. Thor departs the fortress at the edge of the world to enter the Dusklands, a twilight realm haunted by the lawless and neo-dead, and inhabited by the scattered remnants of humanity, both protected and enslaved by evil. Mjolnir strikes for the first time. We've also got Rotten Ruin number 4. Faced with the terrible realities of Farmer John's community, Benny, Nix, Lila, and Chong know they have to escape, but they are caught between guards armed with assault weapons on one side of the fence and an endless legion of zombies on the other. There's a saying in the world, in Rotten Ruin, everything wants to kill you. New York Times bestselling author and multiple Bram Stoker Award winner Jonathan Mayberry and artist Tony Vargas ratchet up the action as Benny and his friends are forced to make terrible choices in order to survive. Next, we have Shadow Show number 205. In Shadow Show, acclaimed writers and artists come together to pay tribute to the work of the one and only Ray Bradbury. The first story featured is The Man Who Forgot Ray Bradbury, written by Neil Gaiman with art by Maria Frilich, which peers into the mind of a man who sifts through his own memories in an attempt to recover the name of a famous sci-fi author. The next story, Backward in Seville, brings together the singular talents of Audrey Niffenegger and Eddie Campbell to tell a small tale of a woman's regret and the new life that awaits her. We've also got Star Trek number 39. It's the penultimate chapter of the Q Gambit. Captain Kirk and Sisko must work together to fight back against the forces of the Dominion. Meanwhile, Spock attempts to free the Enterprise and her crew from the clutches of the nefarious Ducat. And just what is Q planning for everyone involved? The fate of the galaxy hangs in the balance in this all-new story produced in association with Star Trek writer-producer Roberto Orci. Next, we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles New Animated Adventures number 18, the conclusion to New Animated Adventures' first two-part adventure. Will the Turtles be able to escape the grasp of Stockman Fly? It may all be up to none other than Casey Jones. We've also got Transformers Drift Empire of Stone number 204. Once a Decepticon, Drift's past comes back to haunt him as Ratchet tries to drag him back to the Lost Light, but alone on a far-off world, Drift's honor demands he stand his ground. And we've got Transformers More Than Meets the Eye number 36, Outlaws. Before the war, Orion Pax was part of the establishment until a friend opened his eyes to the truth behind the lies and he vowed to overthrow the system. Now it seems as if his newfound enemies are willing to go to any lengths to see him dead, even if it means waiting 4 million years. From Image Comics, we've got Activity number 16, Warfare Without Warning, special double-sized issue, The Activity is Going to War. Next, we have Alex plus Ada number 11. Ada needs to find a balance between freedom and safety. Alex's friends have opinions on his relationship with Ada. We've also got Drifter number 2. Abram and the sheriff explore the sunken ruins of Abram's crashed ship. In search of answers, they find a horde of scavenging raiders and a lightning storm that brings more than just thunder and rain. Next, we have Goners number 3. We All Fall Down, part 3. A family separated, a family found, a family death. We've also got Intersect number 2. While a mysterious luminous singer begins the last aria of Detroit, our travelers are witness to the shifting form of the city from on high. Is this collapse or something far stranger? The intricate mind-bending mystery of Intersect is unfolding. Next, we have Little Depressed Boy Supposed to Be There Too number 3. To escape all the recent drama, the Little Depressed Boy and Spike run off for a day of fun and music, featuring an appearance by Bridge 9 recording artist Lemuria. We've also got Manifest Destiny number 12. In this spotlight issue, just what is Sacagawea up to? Next, we have Oddly Normal number 4. New classmates, new teachers, and a perplexing new lunch menu. Audley's first day at a strange new school continues. We've also got Rumble number 1. Okay, so a scarecrow walks into a bar and proceeds to wreak havoc across 2 worlds. After a long absence, wrath-racked scarecrow warrior god is back and very unhappy. Bad news for his old enemies, yes, but worse news for everybody else. John Arcudi and James Herron bring you a modern-day action-adventure fantasy thriller where run-down dive bars, undead kitty cats, psycho skinheads, and giant mummies all play a part. It's Louis C.K. meets Robert E. Howard in a David Fincher universe. Next, we have Wayward number 5, Image Comics supernatural sensation, The First Arc Ends, Revolution and Sacrifice. We've also got The Wicked and the Divine number 6, The Faust Act is over, welcome to Fandemonium. The second arc of The Wicked and the Divine begins in its traditional manner, i.e. a ludicrous pun. We'd say something like nothing will ever be the same again, but if you think about it, you can say that about literally everything, ever, or also some comic story, probably. Next, we have Witches number 3, a parent's worst nightmare, a beloved child is lost in the woods. Behind the trees lurk horrors, and the brush conceals atrocity. No matter how desperate the search, understand that your prayers will fall on deaf ears. There's no escape from the witches. And we've got Zero number 13, a team of professionals goes after Zero and the entire agency. It all points back to the Bayat Hanouin incident. From Valiant Entertainment, we've got the death-defying Dr. Mirage number 4 of 5. Deep within the underworld, Mirage makes a life or death choice, and the life or death in the balance is hers. The evil men who conspire against Shan Fong Mirage make their move to destroy everything she has and everything she loves in the physical world. Faced with the obligation to cross the veil back to stop them, Mirage must abandon the spirit of her husband, who she came to rescue, or give in to the wish for all she's ever wanted, to die and stay with him forever. Next, we have Harbinger Faith number 0. This is Faith number 0. Her first and only boyfriend to date is a little bit of a douche. Her friends are all gone, and after her insane adventure in Mexico City, Faith Hebert is feeling a little frustrated with the direction of her life. She's just a normal, superpowered young woman in an increasingly crazy world. Here's the story of a true innocent and kind heart in a hard world. From the comic shop of her youth to the moment she found out that, despite her weight, she was actually light as a feather. And we've got Q2, The Return of Quantum and Woody, number 3 of 5. From legendary creators Christopher Priest and M.D. Bright, the original Quantum and Woody are back with an all-new adventure set 20 years after their landmark original series. The terrible mystery behind the existence of Quantum and Woody 2.0 has begun to unravel. What is Eric Henderson hiding? From his enemies, from the government, and worst of all, from Woody. Also sort of appearing in this issue, Vincent Van Gogh, sort of. Out in trades, we've got Saga Volume 4 trade paperback. The number 1 New York Times bestseller returns. Visit new planets, meet new adversaries, and explore a very new direction as Hazel becomes a toddler while her family struggles to stay on their feet. Collect Saga number 19 through 24. And we've got Thief of Thieves Volume 4 trade paperback. Conrad may have pulled off his last heist, but not without making some new enemies. Is anyone in his life safe? Find out in the hit list. Collects Thief of Thieves number 20 through 25. Okay, so that's a look at some of the top independent publishers this week, but there's still plenty of other books out as well, so be sure to check out my YouTube channel at he'sgotissues.com to see both the Marvel and DC videos for this week, as well as my usual roundup of all my favorites for the week with a little more depth and insight than you get here. And if you like these videos, be sure to let me know by leaving a comment and subscribing. You can also follow He's Got Issues on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and Tumblr to see everything I'm reading as I read it. So until next week, I'm John Cooney, and I've got issues.